Hello and welcome back to the BIM360 training. In this video we're going to be running through markups and issues. While very similar, they are very different. Let me show you a Venn diagram that I put together about issues and markups just to clear the mud on it. So we have issues, which are a formal process, they're assignable, they have a due date, they're trackable in Revit and Navisworks. That's probably the biggest issue, the biggest difference right there. They're trackable in Revit and Navisworks. Then this is our primary way, Erdman's primary way to communicate issues. Easy way to think about this is markups are something that people do for themselves just to communicate an idea, and issues are something that gets published through the BIM360 software and into Revit. Markups are an informal process. They involve sketching, similar to any red line that you do, and these can be private. You can choose not to share them, or you can share them publicly. They're only visible on the BIM360 site, not visible in Revit, and they're a secondary way to communicate design issues. Both things that they have in common is that you can attach documents, and they're both used to communicate, of course. All right, so let me get into the details and we'll see, I'll show you what the differences actually are. All right, so you'll see up on the screen, I pulled up the Genesis project. So this is, I'll just go back real quick. So I'm in the planning folder under project files. In the planning folder, I go find the model. So I go find the model, I click on the model, and let's go into a plan view. It's a little easier to see in plan view, a little easier to do markups in plan view and issues in plan view. You can do it in 3D, however the navigation isn't the best, so I'm going to stick to plan view. They're also a little easier to communicate to. So I'm going to go to the first floor. First floor plan right here. These are ordered alphabetically. So you can start seeing A111. All right, so here is A111. We have the markup tools over here, and we have issues and all of the markups in the project here. So I will start with issues because that is going to be what we are primarily using. So let's, for instance, say I turned in this project, and now I'm the manager reviewing the project, and I see that this is an issue. There's something an issue. So I go down there, see this create issue button down in the bottom left. Go to the create issue. We can define the issue since we're in a planning model. I'll keep it as design. It'll throw up this crosshair, and this blue prompt will show up. It says click location to place issue push pin. So we can click anywhere on this thing. Since I'm just running a test and I don't want to throw any red flags on anybody, I'm going to just flag it over here in this not in contract area. All right, so we can decide what type it is. Most of the time we're going to be dealing with design issues because we're designers. But you can also do something like building code, client feedback. All of this really does is makes it filterable. So I can start diving into the data a little bit. We can see where our primary issues are. And over time we can develop our process a little better so that way we limit our design issues or limit our building code issues. Or possibly, I mean, there's punch list items, quality, safety, I think there's construction, coordination, things like that. So I'll stick with design issue for this example here. Status, we are just making it right now. We can create a draft too. So I'm going to leave it to open because I'm going to finish this right now. Title, I'm just going to put, you can really put anything. You don't have to put any numbers or anything, just title it the way you would. It assigns numbers to issues automatically. So I'm going to put a tutorial issue example. I can assign it to somebody, so I'm going to assign this to myself. Then you could choose a due date. So I'll say that Friday is the due date. That's the 11th. Calendar is a little weird. Calendar starts on Monday, so just take note of that. It's Friday the 11th. I'll select that, and then I can enter a location. This might be a room. It could be a zone. It could be an area. I don't have any areas or locations in this model right now. I'll just leave this blank. Location details. We could define where it is inside of this. So I guess put this is in stair 1. We'll say, okay, this is on the landing of stair 1, the first landing of stair 1. I'll leave that blank for right now. Owner. So this is whoever is filling out the issue, ideally this would be like the manager, that says, okay, I created this issue. If you need any if you have any questions, come to me with the issue. We can also select root cause, which is another way to dive into the data of the issue itself. That way we can start developing processes around something that might cause issues all the time. Some of these are they have a pretty robust list. My favorite being, let's see, where was it? Human ignorance of procedure. So I'm going to select that one. But there's a bunch in there. And then we can write descriptions here. This is for the BIM360 tutorial video series. Ignore in project. Create. There's a couple more things you can do with issues that I'll show you. So I can go in here, we can create this issue. See this, number 3. I did a couple test projects. So I can open this issue back up, and maybe I want to snap a picture from the site. I can throw this picture in there. I could throw a spec sheet in there, a PDF. Really, I mean, if you could select this, and you can also just tie in documents to upload it from your computer. Really no limit there, but it basically just sends an attachment with this issue. People can look at it. We can also review the activity here. So it'll show you all of the stuff that I did. And then I can also throw comments on here, which is kind of cool. We could say, hey, I didn't understand the issue, or this is updated, please check again. And then we have to manage. Why did it kick me out? Second time that happened in my tutorial today. Give me half a second, I'll log back in. Okay, I'm logged back in. After that fun Autodesk kicked me out. What I was saying was, this is also where we manage our issue. So we can go into open. This is what status our issue is. So currently the issue is open. We can change this to answered or closed or void. Void is something that you do if you want to cancel the issue. It'll still track the number on it, but you could void out the issue. You can do closed whenever the issue is resolved. Answered, that's to say that's the designer's response. You have manager opening the issue, you have the designer answering the issue, and then you have the manager closing the issue. And void is just canceling the issue altogether. You can also download this as a PDF so you can send it off in an email or something like that. Reason why issues are important. So this gets tracked through the project. Throwing up some errors right now for me, but it gets tracked through the project and start seeing all your issues here. But most importantly, this gets translated into Revit too. So it looks like an error is occurring right now. Having issues with Autodesk recently, so this ideally will not happen, but right now it is happening. This is actually right here. So in the add-ins tab, right next to the add-ins tab, there's a thing called issues. This is where all your issues will come up. You can also just select go online to view all your projects online, or you can just click on the arrow here and it will actually bring you to the sheet that the issue is inside of. So that is why issues are going to be used primarily. Markups don't get translated to Revit. There is no add-in like this that shows where markups are going to be showing up. So issues go into Revit. Markups live in BIM360 exclusively. All right, so I'm going to run into markups real quick. Markups are important. Everyone has access to this. If you're on this project, everyone has access to review markups. So markups are kind of like your sketching. So whenever you hit markup, you don't have to create new markup. You just go in here and start doing stuff. You can create cloud. This is a call out. You got a text box. You got freehand. This is freehand highlight. Some of these have different. There's a cloud call out, cloud, and then there's a poly cloud. We got some shapes we can throw in there. We got some arrows that throw in dimensions. Change the line style. I'm actually going to lower this to 6 or 5. Whatever, I'll go with 6. All right, and then let's make a cloud call out. So that's a right click and then go into cloud call out. Let's say that I'm just going to use this as an example so I don't mess anything up again. we'll highlight this stair and then throw my cloud call out somewhere legible. Okay, we could start saying, like, I'm just going to say example markup. And here we can change the text, make this text smaller, change this box size, move this thing around, change the line style, this line thickness. We can even do the fill. And we can also change the text color. A couple options there. We can also delete the markup here. Important to note, we're not done with this markup. Notice how it didn't pop up over here? Oops. I can keep drawing on this thing all I want. So maybe I just want to include some freehand, be like not including a break line, or throw in some text, and this will all be the same markup. So no matter what I do, I can keep adding stuff, and this will all be the same markup. This is good to note because if you are making several markups and you start without saving the markup first, and you just start adding stuff, you'll include all of your markups, even if they're in different locations, on the same markup. So let me try to move this one over here. So let's say I was marking up this provider office or something like that. Well, I didn't save the markups. These are all the same. So I'll save the markup now. And boom, you'll notice that on the left side of the screen, you'll see that the markup is saving currently. It gives you a time and date, what version it was on, and then the level, and also who did the markup. So this is all the same markup. Even though I wanted to do two different ones, because I didn't hit save before, it shows it that it was saved under the same. So I can actually go in here and hit edit too. So, oh, that was in the wrong one. I'm going to delete this, and then I can go back into save. All right, and then I could I can add attachments to this too. Once this gets done saving, of course. Add attachments. I could throw in spec sheets. I could throw in a sketch. I could throw in a picture or a reference from another project. So that's pretty cool how you do that. You also notice that this is the difference that I was talking about between private and published. So private, no one's allowed to see it. It's private. So if I publish this, the whole project team is allowed to see this. So if you want your project team to see your markups, you have to hit published. This markup will be visible to all project members. Publish. Just like that, it's done. You don't have to do anything else. This will show up on everyone's markups. All right, so that is markups. There's a variety of different tools, like I said, but these are all used to illustrate inside of BIM360. Think of this as your blue beam red line. All right, so that is issues and markups. Like I said, issues are going to be the more formal. They get translated into Revit. This is what your manager is going to be using to communicate with you, the designer, inside of Revit. They're basically taking all of your most recent Revit information, your published file, and they're able to see this and create markups on it. You can also do the issues inside of 3D, which is pretty cool. Let me go back and show you how to do that. So I'll go into this, open this thing up, go into, we'll call it this. You can do markups in here as well. So we could see very common issue here. I mean, it looks like this thing's sectioned up, but very common issue here. The sink, the countertop is not cut out of the sink. So we could say, all right, that's going to be a rendering issue. Let's get that thing solved up. Create issue. This is going to be the issue right here. So you could say sink isn't cut out. Assign to Pete, because this is Pete's view. I'm gonna actually just assign it to myself so he doesn't get the notification. Due date. It's due immediately. It's due today. We can do location if we want to describe the room, like I said. Root cause. Lack of proper procedure. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. We'll just call it improper equipment. Sink isn't cut out. And create. All right, so you can start seeing that these issues are coming up. This is number 4. Let's go see number 3. It's number 3. You click on that, automatically drags you over here. It brings you to the view that the issue was created in, and you're able to see it. So this is issue number 2. I did another test. I'm going to void this one out. Set as void. So now that one's gone. Go back. Now you can see this one's voided out. We can export this. We can sort them. This one I believe is sorted by ID descending. We can also do it by status or due date, new to old, or old to new. And you could also filter them out too. You could filter them out. This is what I was talking about. You can filter them out by design type or clash detection. You filter them out by root cause, created date, people who created them. So there's a couple different controls you could do in that. But that is the issues and markups. If you have any questions, always feel free to send me a Teams chat, email, however you want to do it. Give me a phone call. I don't really care. That is issues and markups. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll chat with you later.